Congrats! You've just left your boss's office with the news you've been waiting for. You got a raise. That feeling of validation, that rush of possibilities about what you could do with the extra money. Maybe it's a new car you've been eyeing, that designer bag, or finally upgrading your living situation. Hold that thought. Did you know that nearly 2/3 of working Americans received a pay increase in the past year? Yet 60% of those same workers say their income still hasn't kept pace with inflation. Even more shocking, most people who get raises end up in worse financial shape a year later than they were before. How is that even possible? Today, I'm going to show you exactly what to do every single time you receive a raise. And it has to do with protecting your future, not getting into debt over plastic temptations. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss out on the financial tips we've got coming your way. The median pay raise in America is less than 5%. That might not sound like much, but properly leveraged, even small increases can dramatically alter your financial trajectory. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, famously said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Most people get greedy with their raises, but I'm going to show you how to be strategically fearful to protect and grow your financial future. Let me tell you about Charlie. Charlie got a nice 8% raise last year, bringing his annual salary up to about $65,000. He'd been driving a perfectly fine car for years, but he'd always had his eye on something newer, something better. With his new raise, the math just barely worked out. He could afford the monthly payments, if nothing else in his budget changed, so he traded in his reliable car for a newer model with all the bells and whistles. Fast forward 6 months. Charlie's car payment is eating up his entire raise, plus some. The insurance is higher on the new car, and he didn't anticipate how much more expensive maintenance would be. Now he's actually worse off financially than before his raise, all while driving a slightly nicer car to the same job. This phenomenon has a name, lifestyle creep, and it's the silent killer of financial progress. The worst part? This is the crazy reality for so many Americans. The raise that should have strengthened their financial position actually weakened it. And it happens because most people don't have a strategic system for handling increases in income. So, in short, lifestyle creep happens when your spending rises to meet your new income level, and sometimes even exceeds it. It's insidious because it doesn't feel like a conscious choice. And sure, it feels natural to upgrade your life when you're earning more. The problem is that humans adapt quickly to lifestyle improvements. That fancy new apartment feels special for about 3 months. Then it becomes your new normal, but the higher rent remains. This hedonic adaptation means lifestyle upgrades provide only temporary happiness, boosts, while creating permanent expenses. The wealthiest people share a common trait. They maintain a significant gap between what they earn and what they spend, regardless of income increases. This gap is what creates real wealth over time. This doesn't mean living like a miser. It means being intentional about which lifestyle upgrades truly enhance your life, and which ones just temporarily satisfy wants that will be quickly replaced by new desires. So, the moment you receive a raise marks a critical financial inflection point. What you do in the days and weeks that follow will determine whether this increase becomes a stepping stone to wealth or just fuels temporary lifestyle upgrades that leave you no better off in the. What exactly should you do when you get that pay bump? Let's dive into the salary increase routine that could change everything. Step 1. Calculate your actual take-home pay increase. This seems obvious, but it's where most people go wrong from the start. If you get a $500 monthly raise, you're not getting $500 in your pocket. Between taxes and other deductions, you might only see $350 of that. This is critical to understand because many people make financial commitments based on their gross raise, not what actually hits their bank account. And that difference can be financial quicksand. Let's do some quick math. Let's say you're making $60,000 a year and you get a 5% raise. That's $3,000 annually, or $250 per month. But after taxes at around 30%, you're looking at about $175 extra in your monthly paycheck. That's what you actually have to work with, not the $250. Step 2. Immediately divert a portion to savings before you ever see it. This is probably the single most powerful habit of people who build wealth over time. Before you adjust your lifestyle in any way, before you even think about spending a single dollar of your raise, set up an automatic transfer to divert at least 50% of it straight to savings or investments. Going back to our example, if your take-home raise is $175 per month, set up an automatic transfer of at least $87 to your savings account or retirement plan. Do this before you even get your first new paycheck. This is highly important because it prevents that money from ever becoming part of your available funds. You can't miss what you never had. But I need that money now. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. But here's the reality. You've been living without that extra income until now. You've figured out how to survive on your previous salary. So you absolutely can continue to live as if half of that raise doesn't exist. Step 3. Create a deliberate plan for the remaining portion. This is where many people simply let the extra money get absorbed into their regular spending without any real intention. Instead, make a conscious decision about what you'll do with the other 50%. Maybe you allocate it toward paying down high-interest debt. Perhaps you're saving for a specific goal, like a home down payment. Or maybe you do want to improve your quality of life in some way. The key is that it's intentional, not accidental. In general, there are 3 priorities that people have: eliminating high-interest debt, building emergency savings, or boosting retirement contributions. The right choice depends on your current financial situation. But if you're carrying credit card debt with interest rates at their highest point in 15 years, that's almost certainly your top priority. Think about it this way. Paying off a credit card with 20% interest is equivalent to making a guaranteed 20% return on investment, something even Warren Buffett would jump at. No investment can reliably match that. So if you have high-interest debt, directing your raise toward eliminating it often makes the most financial sense. The math is clear. If you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest, and you add $87 per month to your payment, you'll save over $1,200 in interest and pay off the debt 20 months sooner compared to making minimum payments. That's like giving yourself another raise down the road. Step 4. Resist lifestyle creep for at least 3 months. This is the psychological part, and it's crucial. When you get a raise, there's an almost immediate urge to upgrade your lifestyle. A nicer apartment, a newer car, more expensive restaurants. The options are endless. But financially successful people have learned to short-circuit this impulse by instituting a mandatory waiting period. For at least 3 months, live exactly as you did before the raise. This accomplishes 2 things. First, it gives you time to adjust to your new financial reality without making impulsive decisions. Second, it allows you to accumulate some additional savings, which creates a psychological buffer that makes you less likely to spend impulsively in the future. During this waiting period, you might discover that some of the things you thought you desperately wanted don't actually matter that much to you after all. Or you might realize that there are much smaller upgrades that would bring you just as much happiness as the big purchase you were initially considering. See, one of the most fascinating aspects of financial psychology is what researchers call hedonic adaptation. That's the human tendency to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness, despite major positive or negative changes in life circumstances. In simple terms, that new car will make you happy for a few weeks, but soon it just becomes your car, and the joy fades. Understanding this can help you make better decisions about where to direct your increased income. Step 5. Reassess your long-term financial plan. A raise isn't just about the immediate impact on your monthly budget. It's an opportunity to accelerate your progress toward bigger financial goals. Take some time to review your overall financial plan and see how your increased income changes the timeline for major milestones. Maybe you can now reach your retirement goals 2 years earlier than planned. Perhaps you can pay off your mortgage 5 years sooner. Or maybe you can build your emergency fund more quickly, giving yourself greater peace of mind and financial security. The key insight here is that small increases in income, when managed strategically, can have disproportionately large impacts on your long-term financial health. A 5% raise if fully invested doesn't just increase your retirement savings by 5%. Because of compounding, it could potentially increase your final nest egg by 15% or more over the course of your career. Like if you're 30 years old making $60,000 and you invest half of a 5% raise every year until retirement at 65, you'll have an additional $340,000 in your retirement account compared to if you'd spent that money. That's the power of being strategic with your raises. Now, I'm not suggesting you can never enjoy the fruits of your labor. The point isn't to deprive yourself perpetually. The point is to be intentional and strategic about how increases in income affect your financial life, rather than letting unconscious spending habits make those decisions for you. So the next time you receive a raise, follow this routine. Calculate your actual take-home pay. Immediately divert at least half to savings or investments. Create a deliberate plan for the remainder. Resist lifestyle creep for at least 3 months. And reassess your long-term financial plan in light of your increased income. This simple routine, practiced consistently, can be the difference between a life of perpetual financial stress and one of growing security and freedom. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it works. And in a world where nearly 60% of Americans would struggle to cover an unexpected $1,000 expense, having a strategic approach to income increases can be life-changing. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it. Financial education is something we all need, but not many of us get, and I'm here to change that, one video at a time.